All right, what's happening, team? Hope you guys are doing great on this Monday afternoon. I was going to go through. We are going to go through quickly. Share screen. Oops. Share window. We're going to go through Chris's the pink flamingo. Hey, what is the pink flamingo? Hey, what is the pink flamingo? Let's double check here. Messages from the wall. Hopefully that's working. Right, so Chris was one of our speakers on the Fall in Love with Fitness Summit series. And Chris, she talked about messages from the wall, right? So a practical system for mental conditioning designed to fight information overload, right? So Chris introduces the use of physical sticky notes as a way to bypass digital noise and encode positive self-worth and specific goals directly into the brain's hippocampus. So she dived pretty deep into the power of not only the messages from the wall, but also to making sure that we have our goal setting, that we have our that we pinpoint what we want to do to accomplish these goals, right? So we need to have those mental reminders, but also visually as well. So she talks about she discussed on having motivational quotes or having things to do, because I tend to forget important aspects or tasks that I have to complete in my pursuit of goals. So just making sure that we have what's Brian Tracy, what does he say? He says eat that frog in the sense of doing the most challenging things first when you are at your prime. I was talking to my barber. I was talking to my barber because of, for the past, I guess more closer to 2 years now. I mentioned this before about waking up so early. And, what am I trying to see here? So I was trying to go for I perform best when it comes to regards to working on the business through laptop work, research, reading, developing course material, outreach, and looking into what aspects I need to adjust or to correct in Fighter Fit X. And I found that as soon as I wake up, so it can be that 3:30 in the morning, 3:30 Pacific time, or 4 a.m. I'm up and I come straight to the laptop and I do my work. I look at the other coaches' school material on their classroom and their courses, and I plug away, and I find that I do my best work when it is early in the morning, and that's when I can really focus in. That's when I have my bandwidth is nice and primed to tackle the task at hand for the day. And the past, I've been trying as well too, is trying to figure out the best time for me to do my workout. And last week I tried doing I tried going earlier in the morning and doing kickboxing. I love kickboxing. Last week was the first time in a while where I did 5 days in a row for heavy bag work. Usually I do about 3 days a week and 2 days on without it, doing HIIT style. But I wanted to push that envelope, the fitness envelope, and see what I can handle. And so I try, I wake up early, 3:30, do a couple hours on the laptop, right, and try to get to the gym when it opens up, or not first thing, but early in the morning. And I know I was listening to another podcast or another coach online. They're talking about, so if you want to change to an early morning workout, the first little bit will be challenging until your body adjusts or adapts to this new work output. And we'll give it time to adjust. And I was talking to my haircut guy, my barber, and I was like, I'd done that in the past where I tried to work out early in the morning, but then, I'm just exhausted. I'm exhausted throughout the day, and I'm a zombie, like that's why I usually kind of go for, when I was having a lot of clients in person, it would be early morning, afternoon, and then I would work out around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock p.m. to get that energy boost again, so I can power through my evening clients or teaching my classes at nighttime. So I did that for years. So I think my body is just like, it's accustomed to that environment of, okay, let's wake up early, handle the clients or handle the business aspect, and then afternoon, 2 o'clock-ish, work out, get re-energized again, because, having a couple more clients after that, and then we'll call it a night. So like, I keep trying to like push, I keep trying to change and working out early in the morning because of, I'm trying, there's a certain energy, a certain vibe at the current spot I'm working out at. Is I prefer to a certain crowd, and in the mornings a little easier, and also for the heavy bag there's more access to it. But anyways, yeah, so just talking about, so having messages from the wall, having those tasks at hand, what to do, and that reminder, and also trying to figure out when is the best optimal time to do certain things. I know some people are like, night owls or early morning risers like myself, and trying to figure out and trying to do that scientific approach of, okay, what is my best performance? Like for example, let's say I was also listening to a professional boxing, and their fight cards are on like 7 o'clock p.m. at night, and there was a discussion on, okay, well, I wake up at 4 o'clock, 4:30, and I do my road work. I run for whatever miles, right, per day, every day, and so it's waking up early, and those professional athletes are doing 2-a-days. For sure, doing the road work in the morning, and then the sparring and weight training and strength and conditioning, etc. But also this person too was saying, okay, well, what? If I am waking up so early in the morning and I'm putting my work in, but my fight is at nighttime, so I want to make sure that I have my energy is primed for an evening bout, and that's when I am at my best at nighttime. So it doesn't. Basically, what he was trying to say was, as long as you put in the work, and as long as you can perform at your best for your event at nighttime, it doesn't matter if you are waking up at 3:30, or if you are waking up, or if you're doing your road work in the afternoon. As long as you put it in, as long as you have the outcome of what you want in the process of achieving said goal, and you are putting in the necessary, the task at hand. So if I have to go through, all the material and the just like finishing this book, if I have to go through all the chapters, meaning if I have to go through making sure that I get my 8 hours of sleep, do my sparring, do the road work, do the stretching, the mobility, the large miniband work for prehab and rehab work, making sure that my nutrition's on point, that my water intake is healthy, or my water intake is to a beautiful standard, right? And then once you have all those tasks finished and completed, then you have your book, then you have a higher chance of performing well in your given sport, or for that instance, for that boxing or that pro fighter. And and what Chris here was talking about, having those messages on the wall, saying, okay, well, task one, get my 8 hours of sleep, right? Make sure that I eat healthy, that my body is not overused or prone to injury, that I am working with my prehabilitation exercises, my hip work, mobility for my low back, ankle work, making sure that I have also positive influences in my life, like I am not less screen time before you go to bed, right? And also too, to have what is your input? So what is your input? And we touch base with this in other videos inside the den here, of making sure that what is eating up my memory or data in my cell phone. Cell phone being the mind. Cell phone being the brain of my character, of who I am. So before I was in high school, I was I'm not the person who I am today, with the discipline and the positive attributes I do trying to uphold today. Was non-existent when I was younger. And it's making sure that I'm constantly reading, that I'm constantly expanding my toolbox, so I can, one, learn more about myself in personal development, leadership, in business, in ethics, in nutrition, in positive psychology of leadership. It's one of the books I'm reading. And so making sure that I have what is my input, what is the data consuming in my brain, and making sure it is positive, just how Chris was talking about. She was talking about, the pink flamingo. Yes, let's open up the PDF here. So the pink flamingo, right? So you are what you mentally consume, right? So how to transform your inner world with messages from the wall. All right, this is just a little PDF slideshow from Chris here. So your mind is on a diet, whether you realize it or not. We are constantly consuming information. A steady diet of negative news, dark entertainment, and self-criticism weighs on us. As one comedian put it, if you eat a lot of fat, greasy food, you're going to be a fat, greasy dude. Right? The same is true for your mind. A diet of mental junk food leads to a heavy, cluttered, and anxious inner state. We talked a little bit last time of having the stressors in the body, and just go further to develop that. Chris is talking about what is going into your mind, right? So the news, the pandemic, end of times, threat level, right? Impending doom, global crisis. All of this is just like how plants and the trees, they need that sun. So the information you're giving your mind is going to be that sun. And you want to make sure that what you put in, because you have control of what you put in, what you consume through social media and through books and through the TV and the people around you. That's another thing too, is the people around you. So who you conversate with daily, on a daily basis. You want to make sure that these people of influence in your life is your making sure that the conversations are led by how we can become better, or how are we going to improve upon our business, or how are we going to improve upon our team, our colleagues, or even our school, to making sure that everyone is on board, and making sure that if you're dealing with my youth work, make sure the people that you are around yourself, that they are of high quality. You don't want to have, in my days when I was a knucklehead, being a teenager, I was definitely hanging out with the wrong crowd. And, I was, that was my doing. I know at the time, other adults would say, or people in my life, family members would say that you shouldn't hang out with these people because of X, Y, and Z. Me identifying with X, Y, and Z, I'm like, no, these are my people. And so the challenge is to not to tell the youth, like, hey, look, this is to somehow persuade or to press upon the youth's mind of saying, like, look, if you're going to hang around these people, this could potentially be the outcome, just because of the behaviors and the actions that this particular group executes in daily will lead to X, Y, and Z, and that may be negative, and of course, in my case, into a violent situation. All right, so it's having that conversation with the youth. It's having that conversation with your colleagues and the people that you care about, or the people that you're with on a daily basis, that you are all well aware of. You know what? Let's write down. Let's write down what we all need to be heard, and what we need to have a healthy relationship, that where the boundaries are in place, and we are moving progressively into business, health, relationships, and life in general. All right, so the flamingo secret. So flamingos, I didn't know this. So flamingos, they aren't born pink. Pink flamingo, right? They hatch as great balls of fluff. Their brilliant color comes from their diet of algae and plankton, which is rich in a chemical called, horribly say this, carotenoid. I totally said that wrong. But they become what they eat. So we can do the same. By consciously choosing what we feed our minds, we can counteract the negativity and cultivate a vibrant inner life. So being that pink flamingo, what you consume on a daily basis, what you allow to internalize into your character, will produce an outcome of actions. Right, so she has a couple of steps here. She mentions here, Chris. All right, so capture the message. So you can have, so you write down, the sticky notes of, you have brilliant colors, any colors you kind of want to choose, right? Quotes from your favorite book, movies, or TV shows that inspire you. So now I know what I'm doing to have the pathway, right? So you can have your own voice, write down something brilliant you said, and remind yourself of your own wisdom. That's not procrastination, it's project management, right? Encouragement and testimonials, just in case, years ago I was talking to a colleague of mine, and she was going through a rough patch. And I asked him, okay, well, you were talking to your client, and recently you mentioned how happy they were that you helped with, with this injury, or you helped with how you approach her in the sessions, something along those lines. And she was very happy about it. Like, okay, well, let's remember those testimonials, or let's remember how your clients appreciate you as a trainer, which I definitely miss nowadays, because, being an independent trainer, now I'm moving more towards the movement and high performance specialist. But back in the day, working with colleagues, where we worked together on the same team to help our clients achieve goals. Now, unfortunately, being on my own since 2014 as a personal trainer, moving towards movement and high performance specialist. But yeah, now it's fortunate. Now it's not really that collaborative environment where it's more competition and scarcity, and just make sure, why are you talking to my client? Like, I'm just saying hello to your client. Anyways, but yeah, so testimonials, write them down and have those as reminders that you are doing great work, that you are being an inspiration to others. Or if you are just starting out, what you want to achieve. What do you want to achieve from the 7-day jumpstart? I want to achieve a healthy body and a fit body, where I am, addressing my inflexibility by stretching 5 to 10 minutes every day, by making sure that I drink my water, by creating these small little action steps that we can compound over days and weeks coming forward, and it'll accumulate, or it will blossom into this newfound characteristic that you can live by. All right, so you can always write down who you are becoming. What are the steps you need to get into this position, like I've always said in our previous videos, right? So practical reminders, steps to complete a task, recipes, and of course, gratitude. Gratitude is a huge, it's powerful to being grateful, even though you may be going through a hard time. During those hard times, it's once you get through it, once those dark days and depression and sadness when you have to go through it to heal yourself. And then once you get past that, you can look back at those days where you can experience happiness again, where it's like the pain that you suffered can help you realize that even though you were going through all this pain and suffering, that you didn't do any negative, or you didn't partake in any negative actions, whether by overeating, by being angry, by going through mood altering substances, where you decided not to do that. Instead, you worked out. Instead, you went for a walk. Instead, you read a book. You listen to a podcast where it talks about dealing with stress, or where it talks about the speakers talk about the powerful of being grateful and having gratitude. And then Chris also mentions here, so create the environment. All right, so for in regards to sticky notes, so put them everywhere you need to see them. Your environment should talk to you. So your what's it called? Fortitude? Anyway, your environment, your house, making sure that it is positive. All right, so pro tip here, you can put them on mirrors and windows. You can use dry eraser markers. And outdoor surfaces, laminate your notes or use a clear sheet protector and duct tape. Hidden spaces for more privacy, so when people come over and want to see a full wall of sticky notes, you can put them behind a closet door, perhaps. Another one here, step 3, cement the learning in your brain. Right, external storage. Writing something down frees your mind from having to remember it. The sticky note becomes an external hard drive for the brain. So writing down that sticky note of, I'm going to weigh 10 pounds lighter because I want to feel lighter and happier, and I don't want to grab my stomach and feel ashamed, but then that shame will also, that feeling of shame will dissipate because I am working every day and working on my confidence. And even though I may be overweight, I am still happy because I choose to be happy. And this, me being overweight, is just one stepping stool that I have to overcome, or one obstacle I have to overcome in order to feel a little bit happier, because I choose to be happy today. Even though I am overweight, I am still happy, and I am still doing what I can to become lighter, to become fit, to improve my strength and conditioning. All right, so it's having that shameful feeling. That's trying to get away from that if we can, and be happy that you have the capabilities to address these concerns of being overweight. And encoding. So when you write down, the physical act of writing down your information into your hippocampus, the part of your brain that stores memories, this is a far more powerful tool than typing. Even though typing topic on your notes and online journal writing is great, yes, but in addition to you seeing yourself, seeing your own signature or seeing your own printing, that will also help out with encoding. Right, and also too, like for generation, so every choice, the color, the pen type, the Sharpie, the paint, writing style, cursive, it creates a new layer, a new iteration of your message to your brain. So these are just excellent tools and tips from Chris and from our Fall in Love with Fitness other speakers on the line. The power of perspective. Reading and writing your messages in different persons' encodes them differently. So having the first person, having the second person, and having the third person. So each way or each dialogue or message, putting that, own that I am worth it, own that you are worth it, talking to yourself in the mirror, that is powerful too, just to help out with when you're talking in the mirror or talking to your self-reflection, you can see your presentation skills, you can see your, you can role play when you do it with the mirror. In third person, own that Chris being the speaker, is worth it. So own that you are worth it. Own that I am worth it. I am, we talked about this last time, the power of I am with Marielle's speaking topic, it is very powerful, the I am statements. Fulfilling your potential, one note at a time. Level 1, physiological. Basic needs, like, there's the pyramid that she talked about. There's a little swearing in this one. We won't go into that one, but that is the pyramid. She does talk about this in the speech, in her talk. All right, so your walls are your story. This isn't just about sticky notes. Surround yourself with anything that reminds you of how truly amazing you are. Diplomas, certifications, greeting cards, your baby's footprints. Don't hide them in a filing cabinet. Put your story on the walls. That's cute. Go from a gray floof to a pink flamingo. The default mindset is consuming negativity. The intentional mindset is curating positivity. Your mindset is a product of your mental diet. Use written messages as your external hard drive. Create an environment that constantly feeds your positivity. Write it down to encode into your brain. And you are worth it. You are worth this becoming the pink flamingo. All right, and then just to finish off here, so what will your first message to yourself be? All right, so in regards to the pink flamingo and, your mindset, what you use to consume on a daily basis, all right, so, challenge yourself and really try to step out of your comfort zone in the best way you can to further develop your capacity or increase your capacity as an individual. I remember even though, I'm very outgoing, especially for, being a personal training and doing the fitness instruction classes and stuff, I was at one of the Bears Lairs TV show coaches invited me to an event, a large event in a hotel. Basically, it was kind of like a networking event. It was over like 2 or 3 days. And I remember I was tapped out on the external energy, and I felt kind of nervous. So they were in the banquet room, and it was just like 20, 30 tables of pockets of individuals of other business owners and stuff, and the DJ and all this stuff. It was beautiful. It was awesome to see. And you know what? I felt. I was nervous. And I felt shy. I'm like, for me to break out of being shy, I'm gonna go around because I was part of the event committee or whatever. So I went around with my cell phone, and just to me to break out of my feeling shyness, I went to each table and took pictures. Took pictures of people, took pictures of the group. Did some selfies and stuff, just for me to get out of my comfort zone and to walk around to each table and to take pictures and to take selfies and to interact with the attendees. All right. So, anyways, that's just one thing. So, messages to yourself. What are you going to do, and what can you take away? What is the call to action that you're going to use for yourself? What are you going to write down as a message from the wall? And how are you going to use sticky notes to implement the teachings from Chris? Message from the wall. Let's see here. What's this? So this is just a quick little video of a recap of what Chris was talking about. We have the PDF here. We have her contact information there. And also, this is the YouTube link. As you can see, it's about 55 minutes of straight goodness for you guys to take a look at. All right, so so we have that. We have the message from the wall. Now, just a quick announcement of, we have the Fall in Love with Fitness Season 2. This one is titled Dating Your Health. Okay? Date Your Health on February 15th. That's a Sunday. Sunday after Valentine's Day or Valentine's Day weekend. I absolutely love talking and hearing from other coaches, speakers, previous clients, or people who are passionate about self-love and care and fitness related topics, and just to hear other people's story and their advice and story, right? So we're having season 2. There's about 3 or 4 people that are on board. Would love to see more people attend on this one. For you guys to attend, I know the Day One Den, you guys have access to it. It'll be through I believe unlisted YouTube live stream. That's the approach we're going to go through this time around. And so we have February 15th. Mark it down. I'm pretty sure it's going to be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific, with about 30 minute increments for the speakers. And of course, like I said, we'll have the link for you guys in the Day One Den. Please share this. Share this with your friends and family. And of course, if I know some of you guys came from a previous summit. Some of the members here in the Day One Den, you guys came from an outside source. But if you would love to talk, about dating your health, self-love, self-care, and share that with your friends and family and colleagues and coworkers. Another thing too is don't forget our 3D analysis. So let's see here. You might not see. I know some of you guys might see it, some of you may not. So basically, so we have 3D markers on the body for an overhead squat assessment, for shoulder internal, external rotation. We got hip movements. We have single leg RDL or a hip hinge, and basically the biomarkers on the body can pinpoint through video, through analysis of what is the symmetry or lack of analysis, so I can see it. So we can see and address that you may have limitations in your squat. You may have limitations from sitting down all day in your posture, right? So, or for your shoulder, or for your back. And that is the experience of being a personal trainer for 16 years and seeing clients in person and also on video. I had clients send me some combinations they're doing on video, and I can see it. I can pinpoint it. I can see it from working with clients in person for many years. But having this software and technology these days is definitely through the roof now, through the ceiling on the capacity of what they can do for coaches. And so having this a part of the Day One Den and for remote coaching is huge, because even though the human eye can see certain things, but having software and having the software and also the analysis built into this app that pro footballers, athletes use to correct and identify limitations in flexibility or mobility, or lack of range in, like I said, for internal rotations of the shoulder, for a pitcher, or for a athlete, racket sports, or your general population of sitting at the desk and office workers. So having these biomarkers addressed in the analysis can help prevent injuries, can help alleviate pain if there is certain lack of mobility. And having this assessment a part of, or in addition to our coaching as a higher tier, we can address these and making sure that you guys are nice and strong for your training for your half marathon, or for training for the Vancouver Sun Run for my Vancouver people. And so having the necessary tools, or having the high aspect of the 3D movement assessment, in addition to our myself and future coaches with Fighter Fit Athletics, and to have that you guys are on the right path of making sure that you're not injured, or that if you are, you can work around it. And I did mention as a announcement, like saying, yes, we do remote coaching, we do have it, but we want to make sure that you are already healthy, that you're not having that acute pain, or you're just coming from off an injury or a hamstring tear. You want to make sure that you are seeing someone in person. I know some of you guys are in the States and in Europe, so making sure that if you do have that pain for a hamstring tear or a calf or ankle issue or an ACL injury, that you are going through the proper pathway with your physio, with your physiotherapist or your kinesiologist or your doctor, whatever it may be. So making sure that you have the A-OK from your physician to making sure that, you know what, hey, to your doctor, I am going, since I'm healthy now, do you recommend that it is okay for me to go through an online coaching workout program? If they say yes, then the day one den, we are here for you. Okay, so 3D analysis, posture, went through the pink flamingo, writings on the wall, making sure that you guys are having the proper input of positive content. Okay, what else we got going on here? And yeah, of course, the February 15th, the Fall in Love with Fitness, Date Your Health Summit Series. And you can tell I'm still fighting that cold. But I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Keep going through the den. Keep doing the going through the 7-day jump start, making sure that you guys have that healthy aspect and mindset of going through the exercises, modified if needed, and of course, post, comment, ask questions inside the den in regards to the 7-day jump start, and we'll see you next time. All right, stop recording. We'll end that call. Back to school. Hope you guys enjoyed that, sitting in the background here. We'd love to see you guys in the day one den, where we would have group coaching. So for example, let's say if a client wanted to jump on, I would most likely ask the person if you guys are on there, it's okay that it's going to be recorded for the outside here. If not, then I'll have to stop this, and then we'll do the coaching inside the den. All right. Call recording is available. Create post. So what did we do? We did the pink flamingo. The pink flamingo. So what was that? Sticky notes, right? Sticky notes. What else we talked about? We talked about the 3D analysis and February 15th is our Date Your Health Summit Series. That's a day one den on the school platform with Fighter Fit Athletics, and hope you guys are doing great. Bye. Oh, I should show you guys real quick there. Bam, day one den. Did I hit post? I hit post. What's going on here? Or is it taking a long time because I have to post it? Oh, select category. Den announcements. All right, where are we going here? Post. Send email to all. No, we don't have to send an email. All right. Oh, shit. What am I doing here? There we go. All right. See ya.